Breaking news, Chris has finally decided that in 2020 he's going to use the Taylormade Sim Driver.
I am, but I've got a nice, expensive OBAN shaft to get in it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it now.
Hi everyone, James Robinson here and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a very exciting video for you because Chris has sort of decided after much testing / you like the look of it that it's going to be the Taylormade Sim.
Correct, yes. I thought it looked good, and I had a shaft in mind that would go nicely with the head.
So are you saying that you've tailor-made, mind the pun, tailor-made the shaft or the club that you're going to use primarily because you had this lying around?
Well, I don't want to say, but yes.
So today what we're going to do, we are going to test the Taylormade Sim Driver with a standard stock shaft in there. Which shaft's that, Chris? It's the
HZRDUS SMOKE 6.0 70 gram.
And it's the green, so they call that the Hulk, apparently.
The Hulk.
The Hulk,
just like myself.
Amongst themselves. So what would that make this? Because this, if you look on, not necessarily eBay, because you've got to be careful on eBay, haven't you? But if you look online at things like this is the OBAN KIYOSHI, if I say that right, 400 quid.
Yeah.
Or near enough 400 quid.
Yeah, you can get some fakes, you can get some ones that are just being sold off, but yeah, around about 400 quid new on the...
So what would you expect to see different, Chris, in that, apart from it looking amazing in the head, which we've already discovered in the warm-up?
Well, I'm hoping it gives me better performance, but it also does look nice in the head.
Right, Chris, so you're going to start us off with the standard shaft?
Yep, so with the standard shaft, it's on 8 degrees loft. Again, a tendency of mine is to hit it high, so when we had this head at 8 degrees, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
I feel like I lose quite a lot of distance just because I hit it that way as opposed to that.
And generally for you, if we can bring the spin down as well, that helps, doesn't it? So
yeah,
that's why we're using the Sim head, not the Sim Max head.
Yeah, that's it. If we can bring the spin down, I should be able to get back up to 400 yards.
And we are using TrackMan today. We're down at Waterfront Golf Club, so huge thanks to Frank for having us down here. And we're using range balls, but we are going to normalise. Is that the word?
Yeah, we are going to normalise them, which it is set on. So, first one. Let's see. Perfect start, not fixing it. Pretty solid.
Not a bad strike, a little bit right, didn't it?
A little bit right.
So guys, interestingly as well, I want you to hit those comments below, and I have done a little bit of testing like this before. I used the Graphite Design AEDI7, the orange one that Tiger Woods used. And I want you to tell me, what do you think is going to be different in this? So you've got the upcharge shaft of £400, which is more expensive than some drivers alone.
Yep.
There's got to be a big difference for people to warrant it, surely.
Yeah, that's what we're going to look at. You know, a lot of people go for shafts that are expensive. Whether it works for them, a lot of them go on looks.
A lot of people go on looks.
Even though I say it looks nice in this head. But again, it's got to perform right for you. It's all good having a driver shaft that looks great, but you still hit it like the red arrows. Absolutely.
Straight on your target line, just a little bit low. Yeah.
That's not a bad shaft, this actually.
It's a low spin shaft anyway. So one thing I'd say here straight away, Chris, is quite consistent. We'll put all these numbers on the screen obviously throughout, and I mean 255, that wasn't your best one, I'm not gonna lie. You had a few carrying up at 270, but the spin's been in the kind of 2000s the whole way, which is, I mean, if you're fitting a club, that's what you'd want, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that was the highest one, that was the lowest on the face I've hit it, so it feels solid.
Yeah.
So.
And that's your standard stock shaft. So what's the Sim? Is it about £400?
I think so, yeah, maybe 450.
So would you upgrade to £800?
Knowing me, probably not.
Well, you bought the shaft anyway, you've got the shaft.
From Yorkshire. Had a strike, a little bit further.
That was a better one, wasn't it?
Still fall right, but Again, nice
but it's a good
spin.
grouping, isn't it, as well? So carry 273, spinning at 24. Almost my numbers then.
Oh, well, if only.
So how many would you want to hit, Chris, to get an average when you're testing something like this?
Between 5 and 10.
Yeah.
Again, when we test it, if you hit a really good one, we want to take that, because at least we can reference one that you feel like, oh, I've hit that centre, that's probably the best I'm going to get.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if you take an average, if you have a couple of bad ones in there, like
That 255 carry, that's...
you know, that's going to change your averages and then really have an effect on what you do.
Yeah.
It's not the alignment stick.
Very consistent though. See, I wouldn't mind that. If I'm looking at that for a club, I'm obviously, the pilot's just hitting it a little bit right,
Yeah.
but you could almost throw a blanket over those, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So as a stock shaft goes, I'd be more than happy with that, really.
Yeah, spins around the right number, smash factor's staying the same, you know, we're putting that down to me now, hitting it right, not necessarily the club.
I think there's one thing to do, isn't there, mate?
Get the expensive one.
Oh, yes. £400, how much?
Extra 40 yards.
How much? So Chris, last year you used the Epic Flash.
Yep.
Obviously we have tested that and we've tested, you've had a go with Maverick, haven't you?
Yes.
Why would you say you're going to go for the Sim this year to use?
Well, when I hit it, it's got a nice feel to it, a nice sound.
Yeah.
Sound's a big thing that I'll go off when I'm hitting a driver, so it sounds a little bit duller, which I don't mind.
Like yourself.
Like myself, you know, a dulcet tone.
And also guys, I'm not going to lie, so Chris, a little bit like myself, doesn't play much golf. I'm not going to lie, I play more golf now than probably before. But Chris coaches a lot, teaches a lot, and when you do go out and play, it's more for the enjoyment, is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're not going to tee it up in any PGA comps anytime soon.
No.
So it's imperative that really you do enjoy what you're hitting and what you're using. If that means putting a shaft like that in, then that's fine.
Yeah. I'm not going to see, because I don't play enough, I'm not going to see probably massive gains in one shaft to the other, because I can hit it right, I can occasionally hit it left. So again, it's just something that I like.
Is that on demand or?
Just on demand, yeah. If I want to hit a fairway, I'll let it stray in the trees on the left. Got to make golf fun.
Yeah. Right, first shot with the Oban. Is that a line ball?
Straight as you like.
Not
Very
bad.
similar numbers.
Yeah.
Spins lower.
Would you expect to see anything more? How did it feel? It sounded different actually for me.
Yep, sounded different. I felt good, to be honest. Still a little bit low on the face, but again, that's down to me, not to the club.
Yeah. And what is it stiffness this, so obviously?
This is an extra stiff. It's a little bit lighter than the HZRDUS. That was a 70 gram, this is 65 gram.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but it might help me get a little bit more clubhead speed. Not a great deal.
Yeah.
But then could get me over 300 yards, hopefully.
Oof.
Those were the days.
So we should probably let people know, because as well we are filming another video today, aren't we? We've got a little bit of something to unbox there for the Short Game Saturday series.
We've got some new weapons.
Oh, that's the one, isn't it?
A bit more centered.
That's the one the people came to see.
Oh, that's it. £400, invest.
So Chris, in all seriousness, what would you say to people who are kind of, as Mark Crossfield christens, shaftoids and love a good shaft, really want to go and spend the money on it, and what would you say to them? Because obviously this video is a scientific test on how the £400 upcharge performs, but in realistic terms, what advice would you give to people?
I mean, there's no problem getting an expensive shaft, but make sure it's the right one for you. You know, a lot of times if they get them offline, they'll have the wrong flex.
Yeah.
So, you know, even if you're going to go for the £400 and you don't mind paying that, make sure it's the right flex. Because how many times I see people get extra stiff shafts just because that's the one that they saw online.
Yeah.
And
it was purple.
And it was purple, and it goes right, and right. A bit like mine, to be honest.
Actually, that last one though.
Last one. Well, I'm loosening up now.
It's a while since I've seen you tip this straight, to be fair. I know you're saying that they're not, but... 2 in a row, son. 2 in a row.
See, I'm just getting into it now.
Does sound good, that.
Straight as well.
Right, so Chris, that's around 5 to 10 shots with each shaft.
Yep.
Shall we take a look at the averages?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Let's do it. Right, Chris, so you've hit a good few shots there with the standard Sim HZRDUS green Hulk shaft. I think HZRDUS Smoke, Hulk, something what they want to call it. Yeah. And you've also hit the same number with the OBAN KIYOSHI 400-pound upcharge OBAN KIYOSHI shaft. What's the difference?
So we can see from the numbers that are now up, we can see that on average I carried it a little bit further with the OBAN. As well, the dispersion with the OBAN was a lot tighter, so I lost a few to the right when I had the Hulk shaft. Whether that's down to it being a little bit heavier, I'm not the master fitter, nor is James. But again, I lost quite a few out to the right. I hit 1 down the middle, the rest were to the right. Whether that's down to the shaft, whether it's down to me. As soon as the OBAN came in, again, the carry went up, direction.
By went up, a couple of yards? This is one of the things which, and I mean, if you were going to, I mean, let's be fair, you've not paid £400 for this, have you?
No.
No. If you had paid £400 for it, would you expect to see a little bit more than?
Yeah, I'd want to see more. You'd want to see, hopefully, I don't know.
Because at the moment we're probably talking about £80 a yard.
Pretty much, yeah. So like my longest one I think I had was just over 300 yards with the OBAN.
So, and what's really interesting for me here is that some of your best shots were with the upcharge shaft, but also one of your worst shots was with the upcharge shaft. So I think basically the moral of the story is, what do you think?
If it looks good, get it.
Right, Chris, there you go. Thank you so much for your time, mate. Appreciate it. Enjoy the OBAN KIYOSHI.
I'll try my best.
Is it staying in there?
It's staying in.
It's staying in.
Looks good.
Looks good. Right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We do hope you've enjoyed. If you have, make sure you do hit that subscribe button below. Also, check out Chris on Instagram because he's,
cracking driver.
You mean well, don't you?
Yeah, try my best.
He means well. Right, guys, thank you so much. And as always, see you tomorrow.